Sarah here. In this video, I'm going to be going over the pros and cons of becoming a nurse. And it's up to you to make your decision after that. Some pros of becoming a nurse is number one, hours. There are many different nursing jobs, and you could pick from a 12-hour shift, 3 days a week. You could work every day of your week from 8 to 5. There are night jobs from 7 to 11, 3 to 7. Basically, whatever works for you. You could be a mother. Your husband could be home at night. You could leave at night to go work. You could be in college for your advanced degree. And then you could decide to work only 3 days a week, so you're doing 12-hour shifts. And then you could do your schoolwork. You could basically tweak your schedule however you like. This is unlike most fields where most people are working every day, 8 to 5, and they don't get a day off. Another pro to nursing is great field. What I mean by that is a lot of fields come and go, great business opportunities, you may be making more, but then down comes the economy and no one's hiring, no one's buying extra things. Healthcare is a field it's great to get into. It's not going anywhere. People, unfortunately, are always going to be sick, and there's government money into this, and there's always going to be jobs for you. That leads me on to my third one. You could live wherever you want to live. When we wanted to move, my husband had a hard time finding a job because it was like out of the city and he was doing real estate and there wasn't much real estate. But for me, I'm like, I really could move anywhere. You could move to Texas, you could move to Louisiana, New York, you can move wherever you want. There's always going to be a hospital, a home care, some sort of healthcare thing that you could join. The next pro is you could switch your field. Let's just say you went into emergency medicine like me. Emergency medicine is great, very stressful. Then you decide you want something less stressful. So you decide to become a school nurse. Or you decide you don't like older adults, you like kids, you go into kids. You decide you like to make your own schedule, so you go ahead and do assessments. Field is endless. You could always switch, and you don't have to be tied down to one thing and then a few years later you decide you don't like it anymore, but that's your field. Another pro is that you could always advance your degree. So let's say you become a nurse, you want more money, you want a different job type of thing. You just decide there's many different options you could go into. Nurse practitioner, nurse anesthetist, nurse educator. You could go into public, there's many different advanced degrees that you could continue advancing, getting more money in a different position. Also, on the more money side, as a nurse, you could almost always work overtime or pick up a per diem shift and get a higher rate somewhere else. So you work your regular hours and then you pick up a few hours whenever you could, making much more money than you did. So if you want to buy that extra car or you want to go on vacation, you could cram yourself a few weeks before, get extra money, and then go ahead and spend it or save it. So now let's go on to some cons of nursing. Number one, stressful. Whoever tells you it's not stressful is either working in a really unstressful job for nursing, which is highly not likely, or just got lucky. Nursing is very stressful. There are many different reasons why it's stressful. Number one, you could go into a stressful environment, ICU, ER, but even if you don't, it's still stressful. There's sadness you can never predict. Patients are going to die on you. You're going to become close to them. Mothers are going to cry. It's going to be stuff that are going to be stressful just even on your heart. Second of all, it's stressful because you're in the middle. The doctor's on top of you. You're in charge of the techs and stuff like that. And you have your nurse managers and the managers. So if something goes wrong, you're in the middle of everything. So you get blamed for everything. If this wasn't done, you could say, the doctor didn't do this, but it's still your fault. You should have told the doctor. If an EKG was supposed to be done by a tech and the tech didn't do it, it's your fault. You should have followed up, but the tech didn't listen, but it doesn't make a difference. It's still your fault. So basically, it's pretty much a stressful environment. It's fun. You can make it fun, but it's still stressful. And just the environment of people dying and things This sadness also adds to its stress. Another con is that nurses eat their youngs. Eat their young. It could be maybe not at the place you work or stuff like that, but many places nurses eat their young. So for instance, they'll tell on you, they won't teach you, they'll be like, why did you not know that? Or think that in their mind, and expect you to know much more than you should as a new grad. Another con of nursing is that almost all the jobs, especially in the hospitals, you have to work on weekends. So if you're someone who likes to go away and use your Sundays and go out with your family and stuff like that, in the hospital specifically, it's going to be hard to get a job that you don't have to work at least every other weekend. And the last con I want to say is germs and viruses. What I mean by this is that due to the nature that you're working in healthcare with sick people, you're exposed. Whether you like to admit it or not, you're going to be exposed. So for instance now, COVID, nurses, not to say that they got it more, but you're more exposed. And if someone has autoimmune disease or they just get sick really easily, then being in the hospital can make them more sick. You know, if you had a transplant and stuff like that, it might not be the best place for you to work if you are prone to infection or you have other comorbidities that could come into play. So that's it. I hope that helps. Please subscribe, like this video, and stay tuned for more. Thank you. Bye.